Serious car accident, September 2025. On the evening of September 12, 2025, Mike Wolfe and his girlfriend Letitia Klein were driving through Columbia, Tennessee, when their lives were nearly taken in an instant. The crash occurred while Wolfe and Klein were riding in a vintage 1958 Porsche. Klein was airlifted from the scene to Vanderbilt Hospital. Entertainment. Wolfe suffered a broken nose, stitches, and heavy bruising to his face, but was released from the hospital just one day after the accident. According to Klein, he was incredibly lucky, as he broke the steering wheel in the crash and could have been impaled by the steering column. TV Insider. Klein's injuries, however, were devastating. She was set to have multiple surgeries after breaking her jaw, ribs, and sternum in the collision, and also suffered a partially collapsed lung. Doctors waited for the swelling to go down before operating. The surgery left her with a wired jaw and a long road of rehab, with Wolfe staying by her side throughout her recovery. TMZ TV Insider. On October 1st, it was reported that 76-year-old Lerone Heads was charged with DUI, vehicular assault, and failure to yield, resulting in serious bodily injury. The legal aftermath dragged on painfully. Wolfe and Klein were required to testify in court, meaning each appearance forced them to relive the worst day of their lives. Wolfe admitted it has not been easy, saying sitting in a courtroom and replaying the collision stirred up emotions they are still working through, but he also said the experience brought them closer together. TV Insider Entertainment Now. After mostly staying off social media during her recovery, Klein returned to TikTok in December 2025, announcing she would be going to court to give her victim's statement. "Even though I'm still limited with speech," she shared, "I have a lot to say." Wolfe has since spoken candidly about how the crash reshaped his perspective. He described the violent collision as something that changed him forever, saying, "It was life-changing as far as how things can change in a moment, and life is just so precious and short." We hear that, we talk about that, but to experience it, it was moving. Entertainment Now. Broken heart death of Frank Fritz, 2024. Frank Fritz was more than just a TV co-star to Mike Wolfe. He was a friend since 8th grade, and in many ways, the reason American Pickers existed at all. Wolfe told Fox News that there never would have been an American Pickers without Fritz. "Frank was there side by side with me when I was pitching the show for 5 years. He never doubted it, just like I never doubted it. I filmed with Frank for a little over 10 years, and he's been part of my family for longer than that. He was the godfather to my nieces." The mix. Their bond, however, was tested badly in the years before Fritz's death. Behind the scenes, Fritz battled personal struggles, including alcohol abuse, before his departure from the show. He also revealed that he and Wolfe weren't on speaking terms and sometimes felt overshadowed. In a 2021 interview, Fritz said plainly, "I haven't talked to Mike in 2 years. He knew my back was messed up, but he didn't call me up and ask how I was doing. That's just how it is." Yahoo TV Insider. But the rift did not last. After Fritz suffered a stroke in July 2022, Wolfe posted on Instagram, "Now is not the time to set the record straight. Now is the time to pray for my friend. Frank, I pray more than anything that you make it through this okay. I love you, buddy." In May 2023, the two reunited. A friend told the Quad City Times that Fritz had been wanting to see Wolfe and requested the meeting. Both men were reportedly in tears. TV Insider. There were even discussions about Fritz potentially returning to American Pickers, but he never fully recovered from the stroke and spent his final years in a nursing home. Wolfe visited Fritz at the facility regularly. Though Fritz could barely speak, they bonded over old memories. "I wanted him to know how much I loved him," Wolfe said. "I would show him photos on my phone of things that I found, and we would talk as best we could about everything that we accomplished together. There were a lot of tears shed, and there were a lot of laughs, and there were so many beautiful things." Fox News Yahoo. When the end came, Wolfe was there. "I got the call that he wasn't doing well. I just feel blessed that I was able to get there," Wolfe said. "I was there for about an hour before he passed, and I was holding his hand and rubbing his chest when he took his last breath." Frank Fritz passed away on September 30th, 2024, at the age of 60. Parade. Wolfe later said of the public perception of their feud, "I want people to know, and he would want people to know, that we loved each other like brothers. He called their bond a once-in-a-lifetime friendship. Death of his mother, early 2026. Just as Wolfe was trying to move forward from the trauma of the car accident and the grief of losing Fritz, another devastating blow arrived. On February 3rd, 2026, Wolfe announced the passing of his mother, Rita Wolfe, after a battle with cancer. In an emotional Instagram post, he wrote, "The pain and sorrow comes in waves, and sometimes it all still doesn't feel real. Everything I have become in my life, I owe to her. God, I will miss her, but I know she's in a better place. I love you to the moon and back, Mama." Yahoo! The loss came after an already brutal stretch that had also included the death of his grandfather. Fans flooded the comments with prayers, grief, and love, a reminder of how deeply Wolfe has connected with his audience over the years.
Yahoo!
Television moving forward. Despite all of it, the crash, the courtroom, the grief, the loss, Mike Wolfe has refused to stop. He launched a new History Channel series, History's Greatest Picks with Mike Wolfe, which premiered on February 22, 2026, and also clarified that American Pickers is not canceled, with season 27 continuing. Yahoo! After everything he and Klein faced, Wolfe says he now carries a deep sense of gratitude for the second chance at life. He described his hopes for the new show in deeply personal terms. "I just want us to all have a moment to breathe, sit down with our families, get excited, not just about our history, but history from other parts of the world. That's what I would like to see this show accomplish." Entertainment now, entertainment now. It's been a heartbreaking chapter for Mike Wolfe, one defined by near-death, profound loss, and hard-won resilience. But he appears to be channeling all of it into his work, honoring Frank Fritz's memory, and finding meaning in what remains.